After 18 seasons, the Crankworx World Tour continues as the largest mountain bike event of its kind. It's the ultimate experience in mountain biking. A year-long series of mountain bike festivals that bring together the world's elite mountain bike athletes to compete on some of the most iconic dirt on the planet. By the end of the tour, medals would be claimed, a king and queen would be crowned, and some of the most exciting young talent on two wheels would start making a name for themselves at the final stop in New Zealand. It was a Crankworx season to remember. A shuffled schedule and no live crowds presented challenges. But thanks to the resilience of the mountain bike community and the fans watching from home, the Crankworx World Tour was able to visit some spectacular new venues and saw a return to the three-stop tour everyone had spent 2020 dreaming about. It was the Canadian power couple who claimed the crowns. Bas van Steenbergen is the new king of Crankworx, while Via Verbeek reclaimed the crown she first held in 2019.
To just do it in itself is quite special, but to do it together is on a whole nother level, so yeah, it's pretty surreal.
It was far from easy. After 7 years, the evidence of Crankworx's effect on the Rotorua scene is clear in the incredible athletes the area is now producing. Step up to Hotoariki Pene and Jenna Hastings.
This is the beginning of a very bright future for the young Kiwi rider.
After the intensity of the tour, the off-season allows time to enjoy riding purely for riding's sake. Many of the top athletes will stay in the Southern Hemisphere to enjoy the iconic terrain that New Zealand has to offer. And for those who do stick around, there's a little treat from Crankworx in the form of the Summer Series. For the first time ever, Crankworx will travel to the South Island, and in keeping with the famously relaxed Kiwi attitude, the Crankworx Summer Series offers an opportunity for up-and-comers to go toe-to-toe with the best. Crankworx-caliber racing with a grassroots vibe, and this time, there are fans. And with that support and the added advantage of local knowledge, the big question on everyone's lips is whether an underdog could claim the ultimate scalp and steal the overall Summer Series title from some of the biggest names in the game. The first stop of the Crankworx Summer Series travels to one of Central Otago's hidden gems, Alexandra. It's recorded both New Zealand's hottest and coldest temperatures, and this dry microclimate has crafted rocky terrain that is completely unique. And with the more relaxed schedule around the Summer Series, it allows the athletes the time to experience the unique community of mountain bikers this terrain has nurtured. One of those communities based in Alexandra is the group Journeys, an outdoor program that connects young girls with the wild places of New Zealand.
Honestly, when I showed up, I did not expect this many girls to show up. It was so cool to see how far mountain biking has come in this valley. Like, I remember as a kid there was no mountain biking at all here, and then coming back now and there's just this whole community of riders and all these trails everywhere. It's pretty unreal.
Kia ora and welcome along to the first round of the New Zealand Crankworx Summer Series here in Alexandra. The riders today are going to be doing the Super D, so that consists of riding 3 very technical rocky trails. Unlike anywhere else in New Zealand, we've brought some of the biggest names in mountain biking to Alexandra, so let's get into it and see who's got the edge to take on this technical terrain. How was it, mate?
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah?
And yeah, no, I felt the flow, so it was all good.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I'm just glad to make it down without hitting any rocks.
It was actually real fun. I enjoyed it. These tracks are so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. It's like downhill because
Yeah.
I actually know kind of where I'm going.
Mate, it's so nice. The dirt is the best conditions for Alex, eh?
Just enjoying the ride for this one, and yeah, doing the whole summer series.
Just trying to get into a flow, but
Yeah.
so much trying to like catch your wheels the whole time.
Yeah.
I nearly went off the track into bushes. I was like, nope, not this way.
The last split should be good. Yeah, it's a favourite track, so yeah, all the boys should be on one for that.
Time.
Yeah?
I didn't even know, I was like, yeah, I didn't know it was going to be this good.
What makes riding in Alex so amazing?
It's kind of gnarly. It's like real rocky and not like anywhere else you're gonna like take your bike. And then Crankworx has brought like all the best people together, and it's just a real good vibe.
Yeah, it's pretty special to have pros from all over the world that this is what they do best, and they're the best in the world at it.
Yeah, stoked just to be home and yeah, to take the wins, pretty special, and good crowd on the last stage. Yeah, good feeling, good buzz.
The first event finished with Queenstown local Louise Anna Ferguson getting the better of one-time local Casey Brown and the supremely talented rookie Jenna Hastings. In the men's, Alex local Bradley Harris showed the world's best how it's done, taking the win ahead of Tasmania's Dan Booker and Kiwi downhill legend Sam Blenkinsop. Does Queenstown even need an introduction? If you've never come across it before, it is the adventure sports capital of the world, and the sheer volume and quality of the bike trails in the surrounding Wakatipu Basin is truly world class. But don't take my word for it, I'll let Tahoto, Billy and Remy show you.
What do you reckon, boys? Did we get it all?
Yeah? Nah?
So we're here at the Crankworx Summer Series pump track. This is a super fast track, probably one of the fastest ones you would have seen. So let's get into it and see what the riders have to offer.
Pump track is the most intense of all the Crankworx disciplines. The format is simple. Riders go head to head in 2 runs, one on each side of the course. The fastest combined time from the 2 runs advances. The technique, however, is much harder to master. With no pedalling allowed, riders must use their arms and legs to generate 30 seconds of pure power.
So we've got this brand new track out here. How are you liking it?
Yeah, it's awesome. It'll be so sick to go ride this after the race too. That's like the one thing that Queenstown was maybe missing, is a sick pump track in town. So yeah, stoked on this thing.
If you call it.
As a local Kelsey, how are you finding having Crankworx here in Queenstown?
It's awesome. It's so cool to be able to showcase Queenstown to everyone here and have all the internationals. I feel quite proud.
Your first gold at Crankworx. How are you feeling, mate? You must be wrapped.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm stoked, dude.
So Tahoto Rikki-Penny gets his first Crankworx victory ahead of Billy Meeklem and the king of Crankworx, Bas van Steenbergen. But keep an eye on Sam Blenkinsop just off the podium in 4th. He now leads the overall standings. Kilani Hines takes the spoils in the battle with Buchanan, but Jenna Hastings in 3rd makes it 2 podiums in as many events, and like Blenky, leads the overall. The legendary Skyline Gondola delivered a steep, rooty hybrid of a course, while the weather gods added an element of luck to proceedings with a splash of rain, which always dials up the entertainment.
We're here at the Crankworx downhill at Queenstown Skyline. The riders here are going to be challenged by fun, tech, flow, and we've got a bunch of loam that might get a wee bit wet.
I 50-50 the road gap. It's Superman on my bars, so I've got to think about that tonight.
You're an absolute blast. No, it's not cool. It's pretty mean, couple slippery bits. Stick foot out and hope for the best, eh? Yeah, real fun, no conditions, sick track, bloody ripper out there. It's going to be bloody wild come race time, that's for sure.
It's real fun, and that's what we're here for. It's just good fun. Firm conditions right now, with a bit more in the forecast tomorrow, so I'll keep things spicy.
overnight it has rained big time and this track has drastically changed. It's going to be all about the mud. Put on a good crash for all the crew up there. That was so fun! It's so fun, you can hear like the crowd. That was the highlight for sure, and just making it down here.
Oh, it was wild, just like feet off everywhere.
One of the funnest race runs I've had all season for sure. Everyone was up there loving it. It was like, felt like a World Cup. You could hear everyone screaming before you even coming down the track.
I can't describe the feeling. It's, yeah, I actually cried at the bottom because it was so good.
It's a heavy-hitting men's podium with Sam Blenkinsop taking the win ahead of Brooke McDonald and Sam Gale, which gives him the advantage in the series standings. In the women's, Louise Ferguson takes her second win, giving her a commanding lead in the overall. Just over the hill is the stunning town of Wanaka, which will host the final two events, air downhill and dual slalom. As in Queenstown, the athletes can enjoy more than just riding, like the thrilling wild wire Via Ferrata adventure that takes you as close as you can get to the dramatic scenery of the Matukituki Valley. But of course, there's still plenty of biking for them to do, this time South Island style. Straight into Bike Glendu Bike Park, the venue for the dual slalom event.
And welcome to Cardrona Alpine Resort. Today we have the Air DH. This trail has been uniquely made and it is a complete work of art. The top section is very technical, but no matter what the result is, by the end of the day these guys are going to have a massive smile on their face.
Things are about to get rough. You can't shrug and pass the buck. You've been waiting around long enough. The moment is here and you better stand up.
Dude, everything's pretty gnarly, eh? I was not ready for that. And every single lap is blind. Yeah. I'm into it.
This is the subject some try to avoid. Now they don't want to hear it and they get annoyed. It's that type of bird sitting on the fence and they won't say a word with confidence. You better learn to formulate an opinion or else you just take what you're given. And that's when you're lost. Like a yes man, you've been trained to brainwash.
So far so good, pretty rowdy first couple of runs. Straight into a first drop and massive hits, so wakes you up right away.
I've just been laughing it non-stop because I've had so much fun. Definitely more of a fun track. Go a bit slower and pop, but racing will be definitely interesting.
Air downhill is unique to Crankworx. The key to winning is mastering the scrub, a technique that sends you fast and low over jumps instead of high and slow. It's less about technical terrain and more about how fast you can corner and scrub jumps.
The moment is here and you better stand up. It's time. You better stand up. try to appease. They can only take advantage if it's what you allow. So you're gonna need to fight, and you better start now. I'll say stand up, or die on your knees. Beat down by the ones that you try to appease. They only take advantage if it's what you allow. So you're gonna need to fight, and you better start now. You better stand up.
I've been here a bunch of times, so I knew how good it was going to be, so I was definitely looking forward to it, and it doesn't really get much better than this.
In comparison to your Whistlers and those A-line Dirt Merchant, like, I think this really is like on par, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more technical, especially at the top. Like, it's pretty rare that you have to like look at the features before you can just jump them, making it a little bit more spicy, which is so fun once you got it all dialed. It's like so much more rewarding.
Wins for both King Baz and Queen Via in Cadrona, but second place for Blenky means he goes into the last event leading the men's overall. Things are much tighter in the women's, with both Casey Brown and Jenna Hastings nipping at Louise Ferguson's heels. Dual slalom is the mountain bike equivalent of pistols at dawn. Two riders facing off in 2 runs. The rider with the fastest combined time advances to the next round, and if Blenky can make the semis, he will secure the overall win. But in the women's, Louise Ferguson is battling to hold off the consistency of Jenna Hastings and Casey Brown.
So cool having spectators back at the races. It's such a huge part of racing, and we've really missed it, so nice to have that back.
This is your current leader in the overall standings, Louise Ferguson. We know we've got Hastings, Verbeek and Harriet Burbage-Smith still hot on her heels. Casey Brown, she's just dropped out. She got knocked out in the round of 16, but Jenna Hastings through to the round of 8. She's got her eye on a 6th podium. So Caroline, Louise Ferguson shaping up. Ferguson, the Scot, she came in the lead in the overall standings, but unfortunately not making it through to the semis. With Jenna making it through, it looks like she'll have had to wave goodbye to that dream. Kilani Hines, so fast. Like dual slalom or pump, she's a real threat. Jenna Hastings with it all to do if she wants another podium.
They're off.
That was always the fairy tale of the Crankworx Summer Series here, was that it gives New Zealanders the chance to go up against their heroes. Okay, Jenna Hastings into this last turn. Oh! She manages to hold on to it. Jenna Hastings, yet another podium. That makes it 7 podiums from her last 8 events at Crankworx. Congratulations, because I don't know if you know, but it is now confirmed you've taken out the overall in the Crankworx Summer Series New Zealand.
Oh, that's pretty cool, eh?
All eyes on this man right now, the New Zealand downhill legend, Sam Blenkinsop. So having made the quarterfinals, that means that he will get enough points. He only needed 16 points minimum, so he will be the overall title winner of Crankworx Summer Series. So 1.373 seconds for Buchanan to make up. Is it too much to ask? Oh, it's pretty even. This is going to be very close. It's even. Caroline Buchanan takes silver. Harriet Burbage-Smith takes gold. Very impressive riding from Haz. We have a fantastic prospect of the second and final runs in the men's gold medal final. The final run. Haz with a mistake, makes a mistake on the opening straight. Tehodo with a little bit of daylight now.
Oh, and he does the gold medal.
Tehodo Ariki Pene takes the win here.
To finish this with a win, I was over it. I was like, yo, sweet as, happy with that.
Yeah, I had so much fun. This course was really fun. It's just like a downhill BMX track.
Another win for Tohoto in the men's, and it's a hard-won victory for Harriet Burbage-Smith in the women's. But in the overall, Sam Blenkinsop's consistency paid off, and in the women's, the 17-year-old phenom out of Rotorua, Jenna Hastings, has put the icing on an incredible breakout month with the title in the women's. That draws the Crankworx World Tour 2021 to a close. It's been an epic year of competition, and we'll see you for more of the same outrageous action on two wheels in 2022.